Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rizal, one of the students of MBA IPP, and I will explain about my mid-term exam with the title Economic Analysis and Policies in Promoting Electric Vehicle in Indonesia and PLN contribution. Next. Transportation and greenhouse gas emission. From the beginning, let's start from the beginning. Transportation is a major contribution to greenhouse gas emission. We can see in the figure one from the research Jaramillo et al. 2022. Indonesia transport is a major contribution to the global greenhouse gas emission. And then the transport sector account for the 15% of GHGs globally. And now Indonesian targets 29% reduction in GHG emission by 2030. And Indonesia will aim to transition toward sustainable transport by promoting EV. Okay, then economic analysis of the EV market in Indonesia. For demand drivers, EV this start of growing middle class, urbanization, and impacted environmental awareness. As we know, Indonesian nickel reserves make it a key player in EV battery production because, as we know, for the battery protection for the EV, need a battery for the main resource. We can see in the table one what nickel reserves and reserves in the million from research review and Alpha 2020. Indonesia for the global reserves, we have a position in number one with a value 21 million and the percentage for the world 24%. So from this also the public awareness gaps and barrier. This is also impact to the demand drivers for the EV public awareness and gap because the public still confused and still have barrier for the system EV adoption because as we know for the price or for the price and the usage they still prefer to the conventional or ICE vehicles rather than the EV because as we know from the feature 3 electric vehicle adoption to deliver public health and environmental benefit. This is the public still in the middle, which choose to the public health effect or environmental effect. And for public awareness and EV perception, we keep from the surveys result from Evasionur 2019. This is they have research case in Solo City. From the research, they have result from the high public acceptance of EV, but there is concerns about the price, performance, and charging infrastructure. And then charging station and affordability is critical factor for EV adoption is the main case for this one. So we can see from the table one, we have the criteria for the acceptance variable. And this is, for example, 100 people were selected from the 335,000 people in the city, in the Solo City. And the result, the exception, almost the high acceptance for the price, performance, and charging infrastructure. And then table two, the perception variable. for the price of electric vehicles, the performance of the electric, and the battery charging, the result also the perception. They have the most agree for the perception. For the price is more high. They need a price. The perception the price must balance with the ICE vehicles. Okay, and then the PLN rule in EV adoption. PLN EV integration. For the PLN, as we know, the uh, BUMN Karya in Indonesia that focusing on electric. They also have a important role for the adoption of EV. And then in this explanation, the PLN of EV integration in the one implementation of electric vehicle for official and operational maintenance vehicle. So the PLN already provide some electric vehicle for this operation and official vehicle. And then building charging infrastructure, as we know, in some rest area and SPBU, we know the PLN already built public charging station and SPBKLU and battery exchange station, SPBKLU. And also they provide the home charging service, HCS. And then providing reliable electricity. So they provide the stable electricity supply, as we know, PLTU, some PLTU. Also, now we will finish for the PLTU, which was 9 and 10 in the Suralaya for the support this program. Then creating an EV ecosystem. So partnered with the auto brands like Hyundai and Tesla for provide the EV electricity vehicles, and then internal operational usage of company. And then for this program, digitalizing EV services, EV charging infrastructure into PLN mobile application. So from the PLN mobile application, we have some menu or some application for EV services, and also supporting government goals. For as we know, from the beginning, we concerning about the reduce the green gas emission. So PLN supporting fully for the government goals. And then government directiveness supporting if we use from Presidential Instruction number 7 of 2022. And then for investment and industrial growth, for job creation, employment, and economic growth. Uh, the number one, the value addition, and GDP contribution. For the GDP, up 100.5 trillion. This is about a 1.5% up, and its value about 47.3 trillion. This is also increase of 47.1%. We can see in the table 3 for top 10 sector creating additional value added due to electric vehicle production from the research Firmana et al. 2023. So we know the electric vehicles number one for additional value added and the percentage. And then for the target or program now, Mr. Prabowo and Mr. Gibran for hilirisasi mineral adopted from the previous president, Joko Widodo. We know the export nickel derivative reached 33.5 billion US dollar. So it's mean up until 180 86% from the 2020 until 2023. We can see the below for the dampak hilirisasi dan perkembangan ekspor produk turunan nikel. So from the 2020, we know larangan ekspor nikel. Until 2023, we have focusing in the hilirisasi mineral, so focus from the export for the nickel. And then the final cost effectiveness and efficiency. So if we more efficient 28%, lower fuel and maintenance cost. This is from the below. We know from the Balitbank ESDM already have a research for electric car is more efficient compared to fossil fuel-based car or ICE. Yeah. The cost efficiency from EV can reach 50%. And then electric car can travel 100 kilometers with 20 kWh power equivalent with 32,000 rupiah. Conventional fossil fuel-based car can travel 100 kilometers by consuming 10 liters of gasoline, which equal 8,500. This is from Balitbank ESDM. And then the policies promoting EV in Indonesia. From the government policies, this is the main regulation from the presidential regulation number 55 from the 2019. And this concerning from addressing four crucial aspects of EV policy. Number one, the utilization of domestically manufactured component. Number two, provision of government incentives. Number three, development of necessary infrastructure. And number four, registration and identification procedure. And then for additional regulation, we know some additional regulation to complete atau to collect the presidential regulation number 55, 2019. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resource number 13 of 2020. This is about the provision of electric charging infrastructure for the battery-based electric vehicle (BEV). And then the government regulation number 73 of 2019. This is concerning about the taxable goods classified as luxury in the form motorized vehicle subject to sales tax. This is PPNBM. And then Minister of Industry Regulation number 7, 2022 concerning about incompletely decomposed condition to provide incentives. Then Minister of Transportation Regulation number 15, 2022 concerning the conversion of motor vehicles other than motorcycles with ICE to BEV. The final Minister of the Finance Regulation number 38, 2023 concerning the value-added tax VAT reduction on BEV until end of the fiscal year. So now the challenge and the recommendation for the adoption of EV. As we know, we faced some challenge, and then we also explain about the recommendation for facing the challenge. And from the first, as we know, the high initial cost. We know the EV still high price for the market. So the recommendation, we will reducing cost by efficient production using the new technology, and maybe we'll combine to the AI, artificial intelligence, and then the competitive pricing So from the market, we can change the price and the regulation in local assembly will completely knock down better than the completely build up. So focusing in the hilirisasi ya, focusing for build or industrial manufacturing in the country in our country. And then the high battery cost, also the main part of the EV, we know the battery. So also we will reducing cost by producing the batteries in a few separate cell, not the whole cell. Also, this is we will producing in our country and then efficient production by advanced technology and new technology and then for the effectiveness of the effective for the resource and the other and local production. Then the limited infrastructure, we know the challenge from the EV. So we will expand the infrastructure by charging station development. We will provide with the government into the all rest area and SPPU and etc. And then the collaboration between private sector with PLN. We know PLN maybe have the big load for the expand infrastructure for the themselves. So we can collaboration with private sector maybe. And then supporting payment system and expand more parking area to prevent the QEV. So if we will expand the volume of EV in the public, we will also concern about the QE from the rest area maybe and the SPPU, SPPKLU for the supporting payment system to quick the process. And then the final consumer awareness. This is we will start from the educational, yeah, educational by educational campaign of the benefit of EV, and then educational about the environmental aspect. So if we adopt the EV, we can save the world maybe. And then technological advancement. So the conclusion, EV adoption in Indonesia, as you know, this is a key step in addressing environmental challenge, yeah, to save the world, to save our world, and promoting sustainable development. And then PLN role as a model for EV transition in Indonesia, we can uh, we can start for the PLN, the main BUMN Karya for producing the electric, and we can the apa ya mirror or we can give the sample or from the PLN, the LPLN, they start for increasing the EV for the operational, and then they also provide the charging station in every rest area SPPU, and from the resource, yeah, from the resource, from the staff, they also concerned about addressing the environmental challenge by adopting the EV. So from PLN, we can make the role model to the public. And continued policy support and infrastructure expansion are critical for the success. So it means the government, the regulation, and the policy support fully for the success of EV adoption. And then also we know now infrastructure like SPPU, especially KLU, still few yeah in our city, our country. So this is also we can concerning about this for the next step uh, on the last step. Okay, I think this for our presentation about EV in Indonesia. Thank you and goodbye.